fun topics that you'll learn to love. All about learning how to change your mind into a positive attitude. Then you come to the right place, because Wisdom Talk is when we just have a lot of fun and we talk about ways to elevate our minds into a positive thinking and a holistic and godly approach. So if you guys want to join, then you come to the right channel. So with that said, let's get rocking to Wisdom Talk. So you're having a hard time trying to stay positive or trying to think positive, and you're always angry and moody, and you just can't seem to get life together, and everything seems to just feel like you're drowning. Well, I got a solution for you. I'm giving you guys some tips and ideas that may help you change your mind into a positive attitude. And with that said, if you want to know, stay tuned so I can tell you what it's all about. So hi, welcome. If you're new to my channel is called Wisdom Talk, where I talk about different topics and try to teach you guys what has helped me to become a better positive person and help you guys to train your mind and body and to become and think more positive. And I am not trained by any means professionally, but these are the things that have helped me. So with that said, let's get to it. So if you're going to subscribe to see more videos just like this one, then don't forget to subscribe, because I also blog and talk about different topics that sometimes are kind of like because sometimes we need to talk about those topics too, because they're important. So with that said, let's get going and welcome to the Wisdom Talk Show. So one of the things that I like to do when I realized early on, as I'm getting older, I am 40 years old, and I was like, dude, I am struggling with my weight as I got older. I've had, 5 miscarriages or less. I had 5. And so one of the miscarriages that I had was, I constantly was like gaining weight, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gaining weight. But I couldn't lose it, and a lot of it had to do with that, is with the stress of just back-to-back losses of miscarriages, because we'd be pregnant for 2.5 months, and then all of a sudden I would be close to the 3 month, and then boom, I would just be like, oh, there I go again, having another loss. And I never really dealt with the exercise part of it and the pain part of it, so it just sat in the back burner. So I never realized that, and so I was constantly just keep gaining weight after weight after weight. And this last time I had an ectopic pregnancy. So if you don't know what ectopic pregnancy is, it just means that when your baby is stuck in your tubes, and it just gets stuck and it never goes down to the place that it's supposed to go down in your embryo or whatever, and you're just like, so, and it's growing in your tubes, and that's what happened to mine. I didn't know, I knew I was pregnant, and I called my doctor, made an appointment, and right when we were about to have my first appointment, one day I just started feeling really sick. I started puking, and I couldn't stop puking, and I didn't know why I was puking. And then one day I started bleeding, but then I just stopped bleeding, and then I just, like, out of nowhere, it was like, what the heck, why can't I stop puking? So I called my mom. She came over and she took me to the hospital, and then that's when they were like, you don't have anything wrong with you that we can tell that, like, physically. We just can tell that something may be wrong with your baby, but it's not you. He goes, let's go get you to the ER and have them check, because you don't have any sickness or illness that concerns antibiotics or anything like that. So let's just take you to the ER, because they have a full scanner where they can do more. So they did. They took me to the ER, and I went. And when they did the scan, it showed that my baby was stuck in my tube, and that it had or was growing. And the way that it was growing, it had erupted my tube. It had teared it. So my tube was just leaking, and it was leaking a lot of fluid, and it was basically killing me. It was poison, so I was basically dying. So technically I had to have an emergency surgery that had to remove the baby, which was terminating the baby, and they had to take out one of my tubes, and I was still stuck with fat. Like, it was like, why am I waiting so much cake? And my body was just strained, and I constantly started realizing and started slowly, like, thinking very negative quickly early on. So this is why I was like, okay, how do I change this whole atmosphere? One of the things I noticed that a lot of women struggle with, and men, is because we're not motivated enough exercising. You don't have to do jogging or anything. So if you're like me, I used to run cross country when I was in high school. I used to run 20 miles a day. I loved cross country. I miss it. My nieces and nephews do it, and I'm always at the races, and I'm like, oh, I need to go back to running. So that's what I started doing. So one of the things I do is I jog. I don't race, I jog. And I'm starting slow. So one of the things I do is I speed walk, and I'll show you guys in this clip video. So I am on my exercise journey, trying to lose my weight. Oh man. And so far so good. So let's keep it going. Way over there in that corner, way over there, that house. And I live somewhere over there, and that's where the wall to my house is for the freeway. Look at this. It's just an empty freeway. They're barely finishing it. The weather right now is perfect for running, for jogging. So I gotta work myself up. So as long as I keep this up, I'll be able to start running. I just need to elevate my body and get it warmed up. Because if I just start running right away, that's not a go. I'd end up hurting myself and injuring myself. So I gotta warm my body up and then gradually start running, because I haven't been running in years. So in order for me to start running again, I gotta warm up. So that's what this walk is all about. Just getting myself there. After I'm done running, I'm sweating like a pig. I walked, speed walked 1 mile, like half a mile. Should I say a half mile, because it's a half a mile there to the park. And then I ran the rest of the way back with the speed walk in between, because I gotta gradually work myself up, because I'm not trying to hurt myself. It's just my second day before I did it. So that's it. Just a little clip, and I hope you guys enjoy. And I also stretch. I think it's important to stretch, because stretching is not only important so you don't hurt yourself, because you want to stretch before you do any type of exercise. Another thing, if you're not a jogger or you don't like to exercise or join a gym, one of the things that I like to do is dance. Music moves, and music can help you lose a little bit of weight, but not necessarily. It can also make you feel good. So one of the things I do is I turn on with music, but I make sure that my music has no cuss words or anything like that whatsoever, because sometimes the music can set your mood. Believe it or not, it can make you want to get angry, because you'll be listening to like a rap song or like just any pop song or any song, and all of a sudden you hear this and you're just like, you cringe, you know. And for me, that does happen, and I see that in a lot of different people, because I have a friend who's just constantly always singing these songs, and I'm just like, you're mad today? She goes, no. She goes, I was in a good mood, but I don't know why all of a sudden I started listening and singing my favorite song, and it's like, even though it's a rap song, it just kind of started feeling annoying, like, and I'm like, and I started feeling that way too when I started listening to certain music or genres. So I was like, okay, so now I just listen to music that I know that's like danceable, and that it's a going beat, and I can feel good about myself, and I just start, like, whenever I don't feel like running, or I listen to Christian music that's danceable, and I just dance my heart out. Like, you don't have to be the greatest dancer. So that's what I do. And another thing that I like to do is meditation. So be aware of your surroundings is really important. One of the things that I want you guys to learn is how to be aware of your surroundings. So there's a book called Mindfulness, and I read this book, and it really taught me how to be mindful of my surroundings and be mindful of how I give away my emotions, because you feed off other people. So if someone's angry, for instance, your spouse or your kids, you start feeding off of their energy, and you start acting the same way, and you start lashing out. Sometimes music can make you feel that way. That's why I was saying change the tune. So when you start to realizing that your coworker is starting to annoy you because their energy or their vibe or whatever it may be, start realizing that, be aware of that, so you can start doing little things to change you. So what I do is I either listen to funny jokes that are clean, that make me laugh, or what I do is I try to remember like a laughing child or a fun time that me and my son had, if that was hilarious, and I start like replaying that, so I start laughing in my head. I'm like, oh my God, can't believe I did that. Like, that's so hilarious, how embarrassing. And I start thinking of things like that, and I'm just like, and it starts to change my attitude, and I tend not to focus now on that person or whatever that thing was that was bugging me. But I also learned to be aware of that, whether it may be something that I need to take note of praying right away, or whether it be something that I need to do to fix the situation, or is it something that I can just learn to like change my mind about it and brush it off and start thinking more positive than the negative. And that's what I like. That's one thing that I like to do as well. Another thing is, in this video that I'm going to show you guys, so as you can see, I take a bath, I get Epsom salt, I get my body scrub that I make myself, and I talked about it in the other videos how I make my body scrub, and I just love making my own body scrubs. I think it's beneficial and it's cheap and it's healthful and it's healthier. So, and then I just put my Epsom salt, my oil, my lavender oils, and it just helps me relax, because it's not only beneficial because we work and grind every single day, and so sometimes we need that little extra time to unwind and just relax. Now, I'm a type of person that I cannot relax. I don't know how to relax. So one of the other ways that helps me and teaches me how to relax, believe it or not, is reading the Bible. Is when I read the Bible, it puts me in a trance. I used to think, oh my God, I'm falling asleep. I'm being rude to Jesus. I'm not reading his word. No, my pastor was like, no, you're not. That's actually what he wants. Is for you to shut up. Is for you to just unwind, relax, and listen to his word. So maybe he may be able to talk to you better when you're relaxed and when your body is quiet and when you're able to be still and know that he's there. And so you're in this relaxed state. And if you fall asleep, that's great, because that may be his avenue of way to getting to you. And that is so true. And it made me feel so much better that I was like, phew, I'm not being disobedient to God or being disrespectful to God or whatever it may be, you know? So I was like, phew. So that's one of the things I like to do that helped me. I hope this video helps you guys. I hope that all these tips help you guys not only grow into a positive and change your mind into a positive and instead of a negative, because believe me, I know it's so much easier to think negative, but once we start thinking more positively, you'll see that changes in your life. I know things will happen, stuff will just kind of But when we change our attitude and our minds, we can figure out and combat a way, in a better, positive way, to determine how to defeat those negative things when they do happen. And the outcome is sometimes a lot healthier and a lot better. So you can use this in your marriage, you can use this in your speaking to your children. So I hope these videos help you guys. I will see you guys next time, and hopefully you guys will have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.